Hey guys, John Link. So we're going to talk about Social Security here for a few minutes and talk about the kind of funding issue that we have with it. That's not a new issue that has yet to be addressed by Congress successfully, and we'll just have a chat about it. So first of all, Social Security was never really intended to be the main source of retirement income. It came about in 1935, in the middle of the Great Depression, when Roosevelt said, we need to have some kind of a financial fallback for people because they're not able to work, they're not able to save money for retirement, and so on and so forth. So they came up with Social Security, not intended to be the main source of retirement. Um, it's a pay-as-you-go system. So people pay in, and as you pay in, up until about 2010, that trust fund was growing, and so that's what we're kind of working with today as the trust fund begins to kind of self-liquidate. It's important to remember Social Security is a tax, right? Your payroll is taxed at 12.4%. You're paying 6.2%. Your employer pays 6.2% of the gross national payroll into the Social Security system. An absolutely huge number. Um, so what's going on here? So life expectancy in 1935 when Social Security came out, age 62 years old. Okay, 62 average age of death. When was Social Security designed to start paying full benefits? At age 65, right? So that's I don't know, maybe unintended. I doubt it. But life expectancy has increased obviously recently till it's up around 80 years old now, around 80. So from 62, where it was in 1935, till now around 80 years old, 18 years difference, 18 years of life difference puts a pretty good strain on the system, right? Plus, we have the Make America Healthy Again um, initiative that's going. People are just healthier and things like that a lot longer. Now, another issue is in 1940, there were nearly 160 workers per recipient, beneficiary of Social Security. Of course, it had just come out, right, in 1935. So obviously, there were a ton. By the way, not a part of the notes, but the first person to take Social Security, her name was Ida Mae Fuller, Ludlow, Vermont. She took she was in the program for like 2 or 3 years, paid just a little bit in. You know how old she was when she died? This is a true story. 100, 100 years old. And that should have been a telltale heart, right, of things to come. But today, there's less than 3 workers per beneficiary, right? So that is a real issue as well. Um, there have been a few changes made. In 1983, there were some revisions made, like so since Social Security is a tax, it wasn't originally designed to be taxed as income, right? Because it's tax. However, 1983, they said, well, under certain circumstances, we're going to tax your Social Security income up to 50%. It's a convoluted formula called provisional income. Very strange approach to things, but nonetheless. 1993, they said, well, maybe we should tax up to 85% of Social Security income based on income. So those two um, changes were supposed to help Social Security along quite a little bit. As a matter of fact, as you can see on the screen, the 1983 one, that's when Reagan was in office, was designed to run the program for another 75 years or through 2058. Yet it's 2034 is the actual and has been forever um, date that probably is the trust fund's going to run out of money. Um, I started a business in 1992. That was the number. 2033, 2034, trust fund's going to run out of business. But they don't want to fix it, right? They don't want to have a permanent fix because it's going to be painful. What happened between all of these dates and things that created the deficit in the trust fund? Well, declining birth rates, right? People aren't having enough babies. People are living longer. Um, I think one of the things too that doesn't get talked about a lot. So people are penalized for taking Social Security before full retirement age. You can only make a couple grand a month if you take Social Security at age 62, between age 62 and full retirement age, or you have to give some back if you're working. Well, that means if you're not working, there's less money going into the system, right? It's counterintuitive to me. I have no idea why this is, but that's I believe one of the issues. Um, Solutions: raise taxes, adjust benefits. Adjust benefits. What's that mean? Reduce benefits, right? Raise taxes, adjust benefits. That's why Congress doesn't want to deal with it head on, because old people vote, and if you start taking benefits away, they could lose their job that they don't have to work for anyway. Another thing that I noticed in doing the research for this is another possible solution would be to broaden the base, tax certain investment income. And my comment is really, another idea might be to eliminate the fraud in the program, right? That might be a pretty good deal too. But let's talk about how you can plan around this. Now, these are arbitrary, kind of, although I do a lot of research on it, but these are my numbers. And so take it with a grain of salt. Everybody has their own individual situation, and we work with that. But if you're near retirement or retired, 60 plus, 60, 70, 80, 90, particularly 70, 90, I probably going to get full benefits or near full benefits. Reductions may occur, particularly if you're working, right? If you're working and making money, I can see the government saying, you don't need all that Social Security income, so we're going to scale back what we pay out to people that are taking Social Security and working and making X amount of money. I can see that happening. Now, if you're in your peak earning years, what I consider between 35 and 60, I'm going to start planning and encouraging people to plan with reduced Social Security benefits in mind. Maybe consider the possibility of only receiving half the benefits. But you can increase savings and retirement contributions. Roth IRAs, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about in a minute, should be utilized in most, if not all, cases. Obviously, again, everybody's got their own situation, so I'm not going to say all, but this is where I think the preponderance of difference can come from. Young workers, if you're just now starting your work career up to, say, 35 or so, I just plan without it, because you can plan without it and be just fine. You don't need no stinking Social Security, okay? You can handle this. You need to prioritize your long-term investing and financial independence. Build strong saving habits early. Roth IRAs, again, should be utilized in most, if not all, cases. So for all solutions up to age 60, Roth IRAs. Why? Because you're going to pay taxes now, but when you take the money out, you're not going to be taxed again, right? So you're going to pay taxes now on the Roth IRA contribution. It's going to grow tax deferred and come out tax free. Well, if you're in, say, a 22% tax bracket, and if they've cut your benefits significantly, then you've already picked up 22% of that, right? Or have 30% or whatever it is in your tax bracket, because you don't have to pay taxes, right? Right now, if you're taking a traditional IRA, you got to pay taxes on that, which reduces your purchasing power because you have to pay taxes as part of the money. Also, I'd work with a professional. Use aggressive investment strategies. The market has its ups and downs, but it always recovers. That's where the true wealth is found. Remember what Albert Einstein said: the most powerful force in the universe is the power of compound interest. The most powerful force in the universe is the power of compound interest. Simply by being educated and starting, and we can back into a number that you need to put away on a monthly basis. And you can make your own retirement. You don't have to worry about Social Security, whether it's there or not. Yeah, if you pay for somebody else's along the way, fine, whatever, the money's gone. But you can do it yourself. You can do it yourself. My takeaway from all this is, let's think, let's talk, let's act if needed, right? And I just think a conversation about this is important at every planning meeting we have. Every new person that comes on board, we're going to have a significant conversation about this. It's solvable. Might not be comfortable for older ages or mid to older ages, but it's quite solvable. Okay, so I don't want you to take away from this. Your Social Security is going to be gone, and you're going to be, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Most of our people, anyway, an adjustment to Social Security is not going to have a meaningful effect on them because they got other dough. Okay. In the meantime, until we talk again, call me if you need me.